I call this two Jacks. Jack Lewis was a carpenter in the pulp mill, and he was a really good quality carpenter, and we were good friends. I don't know how that actually happened, but it worked out very well. But I was shop steward for a while, and I had to go deliver TVs and stuff to people in the hospital. And I was walking past this door, and here I saw a whole family in there, and I looked, and here it was Jack Lewis's family. So I walked in, and they said, "Oh, no use, Ron. He's too far gone. He's on his way to dying now." And so I said, "Well, I'll talk to him for a minute." And I went up to his ear, right close to his ear, and I said, "Jack Lewis, Jack Lewis, Jack Lewis. And this is Ron Starrett. I came to say goodbye to you." And his eyes started to flutter a little bit, and he rolled his face over towards me, and he says, opened his eyes, he said, "Oh, hi, Ron. God, it's hell in here. Oh, it's so bad." And I said, "Well, I just came to say goodbye to you, Jack, but God bless you. You be very careful with whatever else you turn into, okay?" He said, "Yeah, thanks a lot, Ron, and I gotta go now." And he went down, and his relatives were all looking at me. They couldn't believe it. Anyway, that was my first relationship with a Jack Lewis, and second was Jack Birch. He had been in the army with two of my uncles, Neil Starrett and Art Starrett. And they had saved his life a few times during the war. And so as soon as he met me, he started calling me Art instead of Ron. So that was all right. It didn't matter. But some of the men in the mill, especially the yard crew, they went to the assistant superintendent, who was Jack Birch, and made up stories about different men trying to get them fired. They did manage to get two really good operators fired, but apparently they had been targeting me as well. But he'd say, "Oh, I'll definitely talk to him," and that would be the end of it. He would never say anything to me. I heard exactly what he said from other sources. And so anyways, I was in the hospital, and here he was. A nurse was holding his hand, and she said, "He's getting strokes really bad, and he won't let go of my hand. I have my rounds to make. Could you please change and hold hands with him?" I said, "Sure, okay." So I said, "Jack Birch, this is Ron Starrett." I said, "I'm going to hold your hand because the nurse has to make her rounds." So he said, okay. That you're Art, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah, that's right. I'm Art Starrett." So anyways, he let go of her hand, grabbed mine, and he was hanging on real tight. And he says, "This is terrible. I'm seeing all these flashes. And I'm really scared. I've never been so scared in my life." And I said, "Well, Jack, this is the way things happen sometimes. You have to just relax, really relax. Relax your stomach and take deep breaths." Okay, deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, deep breath out. And then you'll see a light, Jack. Once you see the light, you just go to the light. Don't look back. Just, "Oh, I see the light, Art." And his head tilted forward, and he was gone. And the nurse was standing there staring. Says, "How did you do that?" I said, "Well, I don't really know exactly how I did it, but I just know some things that I don't fully understand myself." And she was really surprised. Anyway, my idea is that when it comes to religion, I think that people make a really big mistake in thinking that Christ was a white man, therefore all white people are above other people and stuff like that. Because I believe in the Bible, it starts off that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God, right? Okay, well, since that is what God is a word, he made us in his image. We are only a word. And my uncle Jonathan Johnson taught me when I was really, really young that if you have somebody who's drowned and they can't bring him back to life, you call his name 3 times real loud in his ear, and he'll hear you, and you tell him either his little brother's name or a little dog's name that's his pet. They want you to come back. And if there's any chance that dying person will pull themselves together and their soul will pop back into their body and they'll come back. And that's why I've used that system continually whenever I've decided to try to help somebody to either come back to life or to pass on.